Let's cut through the BS. You've been sold a dream. You've seen all the Lambos, the private jets, the fake gurus, the lifestyle, and all that. But what they don't tell you is this. Most people won't get rich. Not because it's impossible, because I've made over 7 figures online in my business with just one digital product doing a little over 900K, but because they've been lied to. So I'm gonna just pull the curtain all the way back. Because if you're serious about building wealth through online business, digital products, or anything in between, you need the real roadmap. Here's the harsh truth. Most people online selling get rich promises are selling hope, not strategy. They don't care if you win, they care if you click. They care if you sign up for their course, their affiliate link, or their dopamine drip funnel. They'll say you just need to manifest more or post more content. But you and I both know if it was that easy, then everyone would be doing it. But this is what they don't tell you. Getting rich is slow, it's unsexy, and it's 90% boring execution. And it's only gonna take me about 5 minutes to break this down. So if you don't have 5 minutes to spare, then you'll just keep on looking at all of the easy passive income and easy, lazy ways to make money online and just believe that this stuff is really easy and believe the lie that everybody's out there telling. And you're gonna keep on wondering why that easy stuff isn't working for you. But look, let me tell you why these lies work so well. Because it's simple, we all love a shortcut. The guy with the fancy car in the thumbnail, the Bugatti or the Bugatti, I don't even know how to say it, they're banking on you wanting the shortcut. The guy with the Lamborghini, he's banking on you wanting the shortcut. The guy showing you the lavish mansion, they're banking on you wanting the shortcut. The guy showing you their revenue instead of their profit because you probably won't want to do what they do if they told you that only about 20 to 25% of that was profit. They're banking on you wanting the shortcut, not doing the work, not doing the problem, not focusing on coming up with a solution to a real problem. Most of these people made their money by selling you the dream, not delivering the result. That's the business, not to get rich, but sell rich. There's a great Philadelphian author by the name of Meek Mill, and he once said, scheming just like the preacher in church, he's selling hope. That's what they're doing. Now, let me tell you what actually works. If you really want to build real wealth, you got to focus on solving a problem. But not only solving a problem, you got to focus on solving a painful problem and then build a product around it. Then you sell it, get feedback, you fix it. Then you sell it, you get feedback, you fix it. And you stay consistent with that cycle for at least 3 years. And that right there, that doesn't sound sexy to people, right? When somebody realistically tells you that this is going to take some time because you're going to have to learn some skills and acquire some skills along the way. But the only way that you can acquire certain skills is by coming up with a solution to a problem in the marketplace, getting it into the hands of people, hearing what the people have to say about it, and then fixing what your product is. Over time, people, they don't want to hear that. It's not sexy, but that's the game. It's boring, it's not sexy, but it works. Every successful entrepreneur I know, whether it's from digital products to services to SaaS, they all played the long game. They didn't go viral on day one. They didn't manifest their way to $100,000 months. They stayed consistent and they did the same thing over and over and over again, each and every single day for an extended period of time. They executed relentlessly and they stayed focused. And the main reason why they were able to do this, and I feel like this really may be setting you back on your potential, on what it is that you can actually achieve. Social media is not your business. You can't confuse content with income. So you want to post all this content, cool, but if you have no product behind it, then you're just wasting time. You're just performing, you're just entertaining people, you're just a clown in a circus. Being known doesn't mean being paid. Likes are not leads, views are not value. I've seen creators with millions of followers but no money, and I've also seen people with an email list of 300 subscribers that make $50,000 a month. A guy that I know of up in Vancouver, Canada, he's a big inspiration for what I'm actually doing on YouTube right now. When I came across him, he was having $30,000 to $40,000 months with a small YouTube channel of about 4,000 to 5,000 subscribers. Now he makes multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars per month. He still has a small YouTube channel. He has grown some. He only has about 20,000 subscribers or so, but in the scheme of YouTube, that's a small YouTube channel. And I personally coach people who have subscriber counts 5 to 10, 15, 20 times larger than his and beyond. They're not making anywhere near multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars per month. But he's not focused on the views, he's focused on the value. He has a solution to a real problem in the marketplace within his actual niche, and he only focuses on that small audience. He realizes that he doesn't need to get all the views. He realizes that he needs to get the right views. The difference: one thinks that they're building a brand, when in actuality, they're not at all. The other one is building a business. Huge difference. You're here to build a business, so act like it. You do not want to be a content creator. I'm telling you, content creators are broke. You want to be a contentpreneur. You want to be somebody that has a business and you use your content to drive traffic to your business. And creating a successful business in today's age online, it's very simple. All you have to do, isolate one single problem in the marketplace, create a digital product solving that problem, and then brand yourself through your content, showing that you are an authority within the space that has a solution to that problem. That's why you don't need to get a whole lot of views. That's why you don't have to have a lot of subscribers. That's why you don't need to have a big following. You just need a pool of people that have this particular painful problem, and then show them that you are the authority that has obsessed on coming up with the solution to their problem more than they have. That's it. And people literally ask me every single day, what should I do? And this is why I tell them. And guess what? It works for everybody that actually implements it. So the only thing you should do is focus on these 5 steps. Number 1, pick a problem that you understand, something that you have lived through, something people would pay to solve. 2, build a digital product around it. It doesn't matter if it's an ebook, a course, a workshop, a membership. The product doesn't matter. What matters is that the product is helpful and actually has value. Number 3, sell it one customer at a time. Don't try to scale something where you haven't even sold one of them yet. And this is so many people's problem also. They're skipping steps and they're jumping ahead. So they're worrying about problems that have not even arisen. Everybody, they're wondering how to scale something. They're wondering how to grow something. I'm like, well, how about we just focus on getting a consistent one sale at a time right now? Why are you focusing on how can you get 1,000 sales next month when you haven't even sold 5 of them? You got to get to 1 before you can get to 2. You got to get to 2 before you can get to 3. You got to get to 3 before you can get to 1,000. And number 4, ignore all the noise. No, you don't need some funnel. And here's the thing about funnel. When you hear anybody in any digital marketing space, including myself, talk about a funnel, a lot of times what most people are thinking of is a software. Oh, I need some funnel building software. I need to build this funnel. The foundation of a funnel is an experience that you control, that you take your customer on a journey through. That's a funnel, right? A funnel is not a software. So somebody that is maybe one of the biggest people in all the digital marketing or the funnel game, right? His name is Russell Brunson. And Russell Brunson, he created this software called ClickFunnels. So through Russell Brunson building his software company, his SaaS company of ClickFunnels, he used the term funnel so much, and so many people have learned from this guy, and then information has trickled down from him to all these other people, that in digital marketing, this word funnel has just became a word or a term that people use when they're talking about a software, right? But a funnel is an experience, a journey that you control, that you take your customer on. So keep that in mind when you are thinking of a funnel. Think of an experience to where you control the customer journey more so than a software. And once you realize this, then you will see all of the funnels that are around you, even on a day-to-day basis, and then you can see how you can apply that to your business. So I'll give you a prime example. As soon as I get done wrapping up this video, I'm going to Chick-fil-A. I don't eat much fast food, but I'm about to catch a flight and I don't have time to sit here at home and eat right. So I'm gonna grab some Chick-fil-A on my way to the airport. And every time you go to Chick-fil-A, you are in a funnel. So say me, for instance, every time I go to Chick-fil-A, I get a number 2, the spicy chicken sandwich combo, right? But the core offering is the chicken sandwich. A order bump is the fries and the drink, right? So that's no different as if I had an ebook. That's my core offering. Well, what would be an order bump to where I can pair with that ebook? An audiobook, because all of my ebooks, I have an audiobook as an order bump. And the order bump is some type of no-brainer item that goes hand in hand, that coincides with your core offering, to whereas it's a little less expensive, but it goes with the core product. If you were in a store shopping or something like that, or if you were in Trader Joe's, for example, or Target, or wherever grocery store, a order bump would be considered like some mints. You know, when you're at the checkout line, that's when they have all the little candies, the gums, and the mints and stuff. I'm a mint guy, so I'm gonna grab the Altoids, right? That will be an order bump. But then as soon as I get my number 2 with the fries and the lemonade, then what does Chick-fil-A do? They say, do you want that in a medium or a large? You don't even think that small is an option anymore. Boom. They automatically upsell 100% of their customers, and they get more money per customer just from that simple upsell. So a lot of people, they'll say, oh, I'll take that in the medium. Some people, they'll take that in a large. Well, they just got more money. They just got more revenue from that potential customer. In the online world, after somebody gets my core offering and then they have an option to take the order bump, then I upsell them. Usually I upsell them into something like a course. That's no different, because there are going to be some people that want more, right? So that funnel that I will be taking somebody through for an ebook or something like that, it's no different than what Chick-fil-A does every single day. And once you notice this, you'll see this same thing when you go to the movies, right? The core offer is the movie ticket. The order bump is going to be the popcorn and the drink. The upsell is going to be, do you want that in a bag or a tub, right? You go to a restaurant, you go for the core offering, you go to sit down and dine to eat. But what does the waiter or waitress ask you as soon as you come? Well, we like to start off with any drinks or any appetizers. It's an order bump. The drinks are upsell because most likely if somebody gets one drink, they're going to buy 2, and it's going to end up costing more than the food. Then they're going to offer the desserts, right? It's upsells on the back end. That's what a funnel is. It's not a software. So yes, there are funnel building softwares that you can use in the online space and in the digital marketing world, but don't think that funnel is a software. Funnel is an experience that you take your customer through, to whereas you control that customer journey, right? And the science behind a funnel is that you're taking away certain choices from the customer, because when the customer has too many options to choose from, they typically don't choose anything, right? So you are controlling the flow of their buying experience. But that's the thing about a funnel. So like I said, number 4, cut out all the noise. No, you don't need some fancy funnel. No, you don't need ads. And no, you don't need 10,000 followers or 10,000 subscribers. And then the 5th thing, stay in the game for at least 12 to 24 months. Really, I'll say 36 months. But most people, they just quit stuff when they don't get any instant gratification. They don't even give the compounding effect any time to kick in, because I call it the compound hustle, right? Just like in the investment world, they have compound interest. Well, in the entrepreneurial world, I call it compound hustle, because the same thing happens, but a lot of the results that you see, they don't happen instantly, but they compound over time with all the skills that you're stacking over time, all the experience that you're going through over time, all of the failures that you have learned from over time also. Because every successful entrepreneur that you see, every successful person that you see that's doing something that you aspire to do something similar as, they're just standing on all kinds of failures that they learned from. Whereas most people, they fail once, they quit. That's most people. A couple of people just keep on failing, then they quit. And that's the only way that you actually do become the failure, when you quit. Because when you just stick with it and you get some of that stick-to-itiveness, right? You understand that failure, F-A-I-L, stands for finding an individual lane. The only way that you can find your individual lane is to fail your way to it. The only way to figure out what does work is by figuring out what doesn't work. And there's no other way to figure out what doesn't work except for failing. But I'm telling you, if you just focus on those 5 things, pick a problem you understand, build a digital product around it, sell it one person at a time, ignore the noise and stay in the game for at least 12 to 24 months. If you're really serious, realistically 36 months, you're going to be unstoppable. You got to stop looking for viral and start looking for value. And the whole basis of this video started, one of my friends, he asked me, I have this community, is credited at the top. The link's down in the description if you want to join. And he was like, man, out of all the people in your community, how many of them do you think are going to be successful, right? And I said, realistically, 100%, if they truly define what success is to them. So yeah, I know everybody, they want to get rich, right? Everybody, they have these financial goals and whatnot. But in the world's definition of rich and successful, most people will never achieve it. And this is when I really got sidetracked on my entrepreneurial journey also, because I lost my vision and my sight of what I had defined success for me, of what I had defined rich for me, right? So some years ago, I wasn't making much money in my business, maybe about $3,000 to $5,000 per month, right? And my bills at the time were only about $1,200 per month. So in actuality, I was rich by my definition. Like the only thing that separated me from somebody else that was making way more money than me at that time was just comfort of travel, right? They have a better car, they might fly first class or something like that. I'm flying coach, or they might fly private. But as far as the freedom and the ability to do what I wanted to do, when I wanted to do it, how I wanted to do it on my own time, I had achieved it back then because I got in this game for freedom and I had it. But when I lost sight of what my definition of success was and my blind ambition, and I'm not saying that ambition is a bad thing. I'm a very ambitious person, but you have to be ambitious with a purpose. Why do you want more, right? At that time, I didn't have any reason of why. I just had blind ambition. But when I went out and I tried to acquire these other things that the world had told me was success, once I got a little taste of it, I realized that I didn't want any of it because I had lost my actual success in what I'm rooted in. I lost my freedom because those people looked successful to me from the outside looking in. But then I realized that they ended up just putting themselves in a bigger box. They just ended up shackling themselves in bigger and stronger chains. And they actually put themselves in a position where they were forced to do stuff that they didn't want to do each and every single day just to keep up their lifestyle, because they actually weren't the boss of themselves. They were working for all of these super billionaires, whoever they are, right? That's who they ended up working for. They ended up working for Chase Bank. They ended up working for the mortgage companies. They ended up working for American Express. They ended up working for whoever they got this loan from, right? So I'm like, dang, that's not success to me. And are they really rich when they're really just a high-paid employee for all these other companies and all these other people that we will never know who they really are? Or because they have to work to pay all of them. But from the outside looking in, it's like, oh man, I want that. But do you really? So really take some time and define what success is for you. So I told my friend, I was like, man, and the key word that he said was successful, right? He didn't ask me how many in my community do I think are going to be rich. He said, how many do you think are going to be successful? And I could honestly tell him, if they take the time to define what success is for them, then 100% of them could. And I'm a wholehearted believer that if people stop focusing on making millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars and just start focusing on how they can replace their 9-to-5 income first, people will be able to do that within a 6 to 8 month span. But they're not thinking that way because everything that they see out here on the internet is selling them, for the most part, a whole bunch of dreams, a whole bunch of hope, and a whole bunch of lies. But that person that actually focuses on solving a problem within the marketplace and creates a digital product of true value with a solution to that problem, and then starts to build their micro niche personal brand to become the authority within that space to let people know that have that problem, that they have the solution, and then help those people one person at a time to where they can get feedback and then tinker and refine their product because they're actually knowing what people want, because they're getting feedback from real people in real time, and then craft that offer. Get those sales coming in one person at a time. Get those people that you are actually helping, get them true value one person at a time. Transform those people one person at a time. Get those testimonials back one person at a time so you can show other people within your market that you are helping other people outside of just yourself. Then start to put systems and processes in place so you can grow that over time and then have that exponential growth curve that everybody wants right now, but they never put in the time to actually achieve it, then you're not just chasing a dream. Then you're not just trying to grasp at hope. You actually have a real map to follow, like all them that you see on the screen right now. And if you're ready to make more working less online from stuff that you already know, go ahead and click the link down in the description and join this Credit at the Top community. For weekly coaching from myself, all my exclusive trainings, plus a private community and entrepreneurs, all designed to grow your business online. It's only a few bucks a day to join right now, literally less than a cup of coffee per day. So click the link down in the description to tap in, and I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. I'm telling you, this online business stuff, it is like, it's funny to me how simple a lot of this stuff is, but everybody, they just make it complicated and they wonder why nothing can ever work for them. And I'm like, because you're making stuff complicated on yourself because you're focusing on a whole bunch of stuff that isn't real from a bunch of people that are telling you to do a bunch of stuff that they're not even doing. Like, no wonder you're always going to be like a hamster on the hamster wheel, just running around in circles, not going anywhere. But if you just keep it simple, define what success actually is for you and don't lose sight of that, and just do the work on a consistent basis, it works if you work it. And simple scales, but fancy fails. So go ahead and click the link down in the description if you want to tap into the community, and I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. And go ahead and check out this video right here for a step-by-step blueprint on how you can actually make 7 figures with a low-ticket digital product. It'll work over time. It won't work overnight, but I guarantee you it works. It's Credit at the Top.